Hey, Chris here of Chris Likey Movies, and before we start round two of Game 7 of Chris's Pals Likey Movie Trivia, another disclaimer. In case you missed the last video, this is going to be a little bit of a different episode. We tried something new with the uploading process, and it slightly backfired on us, and it's kind of messed with our editing in this go around. But we wanted to make sure we got you all of the information, so I may be chiming in, helping you with the scoreboard, things like that. But without further ado, here is round two of Chris's Pals Likey Movie Trivia.
All right, welcome back. After our first round, we have some really exciting scores that we're going to share with you now. Our scores after round one. We have everyone on the board. Player McGameface with 10 points, DJ Uncle Tay with 20 points, and absolutely rocking the category, MC Youngknees and Kells are in a two-way tie for first place.
Don't worry, Jeff. Here I am with the assist. Here is the scoreboard visually.
Good job on that round. Again, music and lyrics, one of my favorite games, had to include it. Another one of my favorite games even has favorite in the title. It is My Favorite Year. My Favorite Year with Peter O'Toole and Mark Lynn Baker. Peter O'Toole and Mark Lynn Baker. Here we are. The way this game works, if you're unfamiliar, I'm going to give you 5 different films. You'll put them in order from oldest to newest by year of release. And I will say the theme of this round, because it is our 7th episode, I did not mention before, 7th episode, all the films have something to do with the number 7. The number 7 for all the films. So we're going to start with our first set. And they are A, 7 Samurai, B, The 7-Year Itch, C, Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, D, 7 Brides for 7 Brothers, and E, The Magnificent Seven. And I will say The Magnificent Seven is the original. It is not the Chris Pratt remake. It is the original Magnificent Seven. So once again, those are A, 7 Samurai, B, The 7-Year Itch, C, Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, D, 7 Brides for 7 Brothers, and E, The Magnificent Seven. So for this, I will start a timer, but then if everyone's ready before that, we'll just go. So that's going to be a 45-second timer.
Okay.
But again, if you are ready, we can not wait out the timer. It's just we'll have both. We'll have both. We'll have a timer and we'll have thumbs if you're ready. You know, I know these are a little bit more complicated. You have to put them in order by year of release.
I feel like my brain's going to do a few more somersaults with this round when I'm going to try to think of the year and the number 7, like at the same time.
Right.
I will 1937. I meant 1938. Or
right.
You know?
Right. I will say that the first two, they all have 7 in the title. So that's the 7 connection for the first 2 questions.
Okay.
So it looks like we're waiting on MC Youngknees, and that is time. So we're going to start with Kells in first place. We're going to start with Kells. And your answer is?
I have CDBEA.
CDBEA. Okay. MC Youngknees.
I have CABDE.
Okay. DJ Uncle Tay.
I have CBDEA.
Okay. And Player B McGameface.
I am slightly different from MC Youngknees here. I have CADBE.
Okay, I will say that one of you got it exactly right, and that is Player McGameface.
Oh.
It is CADBE, CADBE. And I went against one of my rules, I have 2 films from the same year on this slide. So I went against my rules. So going with the months they were released, it is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, 1937, Seven Samurai, April 1954, Seven Brides or Seven Brothers, what I can only imagine was a summer blockbuster, July 1954, The 7-Year Itch, 1955, and The Magnificent Seven, the original, not the Chris Pratt remake, was 1960. So on that, we have 5 points for Player McGameface. We have 4 points for DJ Youngknees, who mixed up B and D. We have 1 point each for DJ Uncle Tay Tay and 1 point for Kells. Does that sound right with everybody?
I believe I got
Sure
2.
does.
2 points. So you had C in the right place
And D in the right place.
and D in the right place. That's correct. Yep, this one I definitely reach out for help because it's difficult to remember the order. But now we're going to go on to our next slide, which is 7 Psychopaths, The Seventh Seal, 7 Years in Tibet, 7 and 6 Days, 7 Nights. Again, they all have the word 7 in the title, and 7 even has a 7 in the 7. It's crazy. So those are your choices. A, 7 Psychopaths, B, The Seventh Seal, C, 7 Years in Tibet, D, 7, and E, 6 Days, 7 Nights. Again, Mr. Brad Pitt shows up in 2 of those films, but they all have the word 7 in common. So I'm going to start the timer.
Oh, it's going to be so wrong. I know it.
And Brad Pitt won an Oscar this year as well.
He did,
Wow, what a coincidence.
for playing a movie set in the 60s, which, spoiler, none of these are set in the 60s.
I really don't know if he deserved that one, but
Wow, we're so dangerously close to some muting tonight
For what movie was that?
Once
Did he
Upon a
not
Time.
deserve-
in
Oh,
Hollywood.
It was fine.
I like the movie a lot. Brad Pitt
Yeah.
was insanely attractive.
Very true, very true.
Like,
I
He's like-
really enjoy.
insanely.
He's
I
like
really
older
enjoy
than you think.
I really enjoy when a comedic performance gets nominated for the Oscar. I was kind of rooting more for DiCaprio than Pitt, to be honest.
Oh, and yeah, he was
DiCaprio
fantastic for that.
He was so funny in that movie.
They both were.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're going to go with Kells. Kells, what is your answer?
I have B, D, C, E, A.
Okay, MC Youngknees.
I have B, C, D, E, A.
Okay, DJ Uncle Tay Tay.
I have the same as Miss Youngknees. I have B, C, D, E, A.
Okay, and Player McGameface.
I have the same as Kells. I have consonants first and then vowels next. B, D, C, E, A.
Kells, yep, B, D, C, E, A. Kells, is that what you have as well?
Yes.
Okay, because I wrote it down wrong. All right, so I will say 2 of you got it exactly right, and 2 of you are slightly off. The 2 that got it correct were the ones that said B, C, D, E, A.
Yeah!
So that is MC Youngknees and DJ Uncle Tay Tay. Good job.
I guessed so hard.
And that means
I know, I never even heard of
That
7
means-
years of that.
that means 3 points for
Wait a
Player
minute.
McGameface.
Wait a minute. We've got 1997 before 1995.
Apparently, I was drinking when I did this, so flip flop that, and it's 5 points for Kells and Player McGameface,
Oh, let me just snatch those 2
And-
points real
and
fast.
three points for. Okay, so there we go.
That's all right.
Hey.
All right, it is a. I'm gonna have a little water for that. That's whew. Yep. To paraphrase a famous phrase, hosting ain't easy. Hosting ain't easy. Let's see how the next one goes.
It's hard out here for a host.
It is hard out here for a host. Thank you, 36 Mafia. All right. The next 2 slides the next two slides are films that won exactly 7 Oscars. They won exactly 7 Oscars. So we'll start with our first batch here. Some fine films on this list, and these all won the Best Picture. Lawrence of Arabia, B, The Best Years of Our Lives, C, Going My Way, D, The Bridge on the River Kwai, and E, Patton. A, Lawrence of Arabia, B, The Best Years of Our Lives, C, Going My Way, D, The Bridge on the River Kwai, and E, Patton. Starting the clock.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah, there's also a lot of war in those movies. There's a lot of war in those movies. But they all
Yes.
won exactly 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Best
Wow.
Picture. Yep.
But should they have?
And 2 of those are from one of my favorite directors, David Lean.
Yep. Okay.
But you got to sit down and get comfortable for both of those movies.
Yeah, they are epics. I actually saw Lawrence of Arabia at the Louisville Palace Theater, which was an experience in and of itself. Yep. Okay, so let's start with Kells. What is your order for this set of films?
I have B, C, A, E, D.
Okay, B, C, A, E, D. And next, MC Youngknees.
I have C, B, D, A, E.
CBDAE. DJ Uncle Tay Tay.
I have ADECB.
Okay, and Player Game Face.
I am I'm exactly like MC Youngknees here.
Okay.
CBDAE.
Okay, I will say the correct answer is
Talking is fun.
CBDAE. So that is 5 points for Player Game Face and DJ Uncle Tay Tay. And unfortunately, I don't see points for either DJ Uncle Tay Tay or Kells. I think you got them mixed up. Am I right? Am I wrong? I think
Correct.
they were transposed. DJ Uncle Tay Tay.
Yes, I got zilch.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Plenty of game to play. And next, a few more recent 7 Academy Award winners. Again, they all won Best Picture. And I echo Madeline, but should they have on this one?
Yeah.
Those of you who know me will know which one I take the most umbrage at, but we will save that opinion for an offline discussion.
No, you're right.
A, Schindler's List. B, Shakespeare in Love. C, The Sting. D, Dances with Wolves. E, Out of Africa. Those are your choices. A, Schindler's List. B, Shakespeare in Love. C, The Sting. D, Dances with Wolves. And E, Out of Africa. I'm starting the timer. There's actually a couple on this list that I'm like, feel strongly about. And a couple others I'm like, meh, can give or take.
Yeah.
I'm with you on the one. If I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure I know which one it is.
Yeah, you know which one that
Honestly,
When we get to that one, remind me what you think should have won that year.
Okay.
There are viable answers.
I know it's one of 2. It's one of 2 of those movies. I know,
Yeah.
because there are 2 controversial winners. I would say.
Yeah, I'm gonna say my 2 controversial winners. Everyone is ready, correct? So we're gonna stop the timer. And we're gonna start with Kells. Kells, what is your response to this?
CEDAB.
CEDAB and MC Youngknees.
I said the same as Kel.
Okay.
Kadab.
Kadab. Abracadabra. DJ Uncle Tay Tay.
I said AEDBC.
Okay. And Player McGameface.
Just like MC Youngknees and Kells. Kadab!
Kadab.
Kadab. I will say Kadab is the correct answer. CEDAB. The Sting, 1973. E, Out of Africa, 1985. D, Dances with Wolves, 1990. A, Schindler's List, 1993. And B, Shakespeare in Love, 1998. I will say the two I take most umbrage out of Africa, I believe Color Purple should have won that year. And Shakespeare in Love, I believe Saving Private Ryan should have won that year. Dances with Wolves, I think a case could be made for Goodfellas. Schindler's List, I think that one absolutely deserves it. And The Sting, I would have to see again. It's been a while since I have seen that.
I was guessing The Sting is the second controversial one. I knew it was either that or Shakespeare in Love.
Yeah, Shakespeare in Love is, yeah.
I knew it was Shakespeare in Love.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Again, leave your comments about what you think are controversial and what should have won in those 5 years. I will say one other film. There are 11 films that have accomplished the exactly 7. One other film has been featured in this game before. Gravity. Alfonso Cuarón's film is the only film to win exactly 7 Academy Awards and not win Best Picture. The record is held by Cabaret that won 8 and did not win Best Picture that year. So a little tidbit for you there.
Wow.
Yep. So on that, we have 5 points for everyone but DJ Uncle Tay, who received 2 points for E and D in the same place, for the correct place. Okay, so the last one here for the round, there's 7 days in the week. So put these movies with days of the week in their title in order. A, Never on Sunday. B, His Girl Friday. C, Friday the 13th, and that is the original, not the remake. D, Saturday Night Fever. And E, Sunday Bloody Sunday. Not affiliated with the U2 song. The film came out before. I'll give that as a little clue.
Oh,
So
well, thanks for that clue.
Sure thing. A, Never on Sunday. B, His Girl Friday. C, Friday the 13th. D, Saturday Night Fever. And E, Sunday Bloody Sunday. And I'll go ahead and start the 45 seconds.
Trying to picture Never on Sunday. I'm coming up blank on an image or
Yeah, I
anything.
have no idea what that movie is, man.
I will say it is an Academy Award winner. It has an Academy Award winning Best Song performed in Greek. It's one of 2 songs, I believe, performed in a different language. It's in English that won the Best Original Song. If you count Que Sera Sera, that would be 3, but that's mainly in English.
Circling back to Gravity, I recently put that film on my TV just because I wanted to see how my Blu-ray player would work with it. And my cat, Bert Crockemeyer, loves the film Gravity.
Fantastic.
He loves all the floating things in space, and he wants to bap them.
Nice. And that is time. That is time. So we're going to start with Kells. What do you have?
I have Badek. B-A-D-E-C.
B-A-D-E-C. Okay. MC Young Knees.
I have B-A-E-D-C.
B-A-E-D-C. Okay. And Bay DC. DJ Uncle Tay.
I have B-D-C-E-A.
Okay. And Player Game Face.
I have the word bead followed by the letter C.
Okay. I will say you all had different answers. One of you is 100% correct. It is the player that said Bay DC. So 5 points for MC Young Knees.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have 3 points for Kells, who only mixed up D and E. We have 1 point for DJ Uncle Tay for having B in the right order. And we have 3 for Player Gameface, who transposed A and E. So there we go.
Never on Sunday. I almost had a perfect round.
Very, very, very close. And we'll see what the results of that round are after this break.
Subscribe. Punch that bell.